And 2. Welcome in, everybody, to Gwen and Chris, broadcasting live and continuing the party here at the far corner, right next to Petco Park, ahead of tonight's game between the Padres and the Detroit Tigers. Chris Ello, Matt Scraby, Tony Gwynn Jr. is already inside preparing for the broadcast. And not only did that hit by the youngster McGonigal win the ball game for the Tigers last night and send the Padres to an 0-2 start, but just like that, Craig Stammen doesn't know what he's doing. And
oh, no, that was already after the first game.
Well, I don't know what he could have done about the first game. I mean, you give up 4 runs in the top of the first inning by walking the bases loaded. I don't know what your manager's supposed to do about that. And I don't really know what your manager's supposed to do about bringing in one of your ace relievers, and they walked the bases loaded in the 8th inning last night. If the pitchers keep doing that, the Padres aren't going to win very many games. And the criticism is, we'll go through all of it here in the next couple of hours. But, Scraby, other than the 0-2 start, how be you today?
I am doing great.
It's a great party, man. This is, what is it right now? 2 o'clock.
2:02.
We're 3 hours and 40 minutes before game time.
Yeah.
But the party's going. I mean, they got the block party outside here. They got a band playing inside far corner. I mean, I don't know if the people in here can hear us. I can wait. Some of them can hear us.
I think the speaker right
make
in front
a little
of there.
noise just to make it sound a little. Okay,
there
thank
we go.
you very much.
There's thousands of people here.
Maybe thousands are in here. Yeah, everybody's packed in wall to wall. We are giving away a big prize package at the end of the show today. So if you are listening and you're on your way down to the ball game, you might as well stop by here, get your name in the hopper. You can win a bunch of stuff.
I got it. Here we go.
Let me hear it.
And again, we have to we're changing the rules. 3:55 is when we're going to be calling the name.
Okay.
So we have 3 different prizes: a pair of tickets to Monday's game, a signed Michael King baseball, and a Michael King bobblehead as well.
All of that going to be given away today. And but again, 3:55. So you got some time to get here.
And it's a new hopper. We've changed it. So people that are here are going to win it, and not people that sign up and 6 a.m.
earlier.
Yeah.
Right,
so
but most people
better
are
chance.
Most people are staying here. I mean, the far corner is such a fun place. It's the second year in a row we've been here, Scraby, and
yep.
I'm excited. I'm glad we're here, and appreciate the folks having us out. I love being out and about on even on a Saturday. Everybody's like, "Oh, you got to work." Come on, I'm going to go hang out.
This isn't work.
I'm going to go hang out with fans, get ready for the Padre game tonight. So let's do that. Before we. Let's be critical, but let's also keep it in perspective, because it's fair to be critical of the start of this team. I mean, for 2 games, this is crap.
Yeah.
They can't hit. They can't hit with runners in scoring position. They have no power. Their pitchers can't throw strikes. These are problems. These are issues. This is 2 games, though. So let's keep all that in perspective. I want to point out that last year, a Padre team that won 90 games, went to the playoffs, had 17 2-game losing streaks. So it's really not time yet to hit the panic button. And even if they lose tonight, keep in mind that the 1998 New York Yankees, who won 125 games, started that season 0-3.
We did talk about this. It feels very vaguely familiar to like 3 years ago.
Maybe 3 years ago when we started 0-3.
We were doing a broadcast up in Carlsbad when you said that, and I was all in.
Yeah.
We all know that team started. I don't think that's the same situation.
No, that's obviously not. We don't have Derek Jeter, and we don't have Bernie Williams, and we don't have a lot of those Hall of Famers. But we do have some guys that are probably going to go to the Hall of Fame, and they're going to have to start hitting like it. Look, man, he's got a 500 on base and a couple of hits, and Fernando's got a single, and Jackson's got a bloop double. I mean, look, these guys are going to have to start knocking the ball off the wall and start driving in some runs. You got to give the pitching staff something to work with. That said, if you don't throw strikes, everything else goes out the window. And, Ruben Niebla, about the last thing that you associate with him as a pitching coach is having pitchers who don't attack the zone and throw strikes. Nick Pivetta, terrible. Last night, Jeremiah Estrada, terrible. That's it. That's the ball game. There's a 4-run inning in the opener, and there's a 4-run inning last night. One of them happened in the first inning, one of them happened in the 8th inning. But they both happened for the same reason, because you walked the bases loaded. So you deserve to lose both of these games, as far as I'm concerned. but the fans want to blame Craig Stammen.
I don't think it's as much as Craig Stammen, but I do think there is some talk that we can have about some of the decisions he's made so far. And I'm surprised that Ruben Niebla, and I don't know this to be true, but Ruben Niebla didn't suggest to take Jeremiah Estrada out after he walked the bases loaded. Granted, he did get 2 outs after that, but he could not command the baseball. And with the bases loaded, 2 outs, game in the balance, I would have gone to someone else. Now,
they did.
Well,
they did. With bases loaded, 2 outs in the game in the balance, they did.
Okay.
They brought in Wandy Peralta, and he grooved the fastball.
Here's the thing. I would have gone with Mason Miller. But after the game, Craig Stammen did say that he's just not – it's not possible to go to him for 4 outs right now.
He's not ready right now to go 4 outs. So what problem does everybody have with that?
I thought you were going to be on my side on this because you're always like, why can't pitchers pitch?
I'm absolutely not. This is the second game of the season. If it's mid-May, mid-June – and we need you for 4 outs, and I don't want to hear any Josh Hader excuses. But when you're coming off of the World Baseball Classic and you're getting yourself in shape and ready for this season, I am not extending Mason Miller in the second game of the season. I'm just flat out not, number one. Number two, I'm not bringing him into a tie game in the 8th inning. If I'm bringing him in the 8th inning at all, it's with the lead. And this situation did not call for Mason Miller, and he was going to probably use him in the 9th if the game stayed tied 2-2. Wandy Peralta is a veteran left-hander who's been around the block 100 times. He's facing a rookie kid who's going up against a tough left-hander with the game on the line. And what happens? Wandy Peralta gets to a 3-2 count. Well, what else is he going to do? He's got to throw the ball down the middle so he can't walk in the go-ahead run. The kid was ready, and he got a base hit. You lose the ball game. That's on Wandy Peralta. That is not on Craig Stammen. Everybody thinks that when they lose a game in the 8th inning, it's always because of the manager. It's because the players you brought in didn't do the job. Jeremiah Estrada wants to be, I'm sure, a closer someday. I'm sure he wants to be the guy in the 9th inning someday, somewhere, if it's never here. So he's got to come in and shut the door. That's it. You got a 2-1 lead. Let's go. This is the strength of our team is our bullpen. Craig Stammen managed it perfectly, unless you think, honestly, not you, but anyone out there thinks that he just should have brought in Mason Miller to start the 8th inning, pitch the 8th, pitch the 9th.
I don't know why you're yelling at everyone, number one.
Well, I'm frustrated because everybody's, overreacting.
Honestly, I don't know if it's more about Craig Stammen than it is Wandy Peralta. I know that he's a good lefty. He's a veteran lefty. He did some great things last year. I don't like him in high-pressure situations like that.
But it doesn't
seem like he comes through.
Okay, but you just told me that you got to take Estrada out.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to leave Estrada there with the bases loaded, or do you want the lefty and you put it? What did you want? You got to have one of the two.
I am stuck in between because I understand why in March, whatever month this is, in March you're not going
it is
to
March, yes.
Yeah, you're not going to go to Mason Miller for 4 outs in March.
That's
I get it.
Okay.
I get it.
Good.
But at the same time, they had that game. The strength of your team is your bullpen. The bullpen's giving it away. So what do? You
take Estrada out. You bring in Peralta earlier. I mean, what difference?
I don't want to see Wandy, period.
Well,
in those situations.
You wouldn't have if Jason Adam was healthy, but he's not. So he couldn't pitch the 8th inning. Is that Craig Stammen's fault?
That is not.
Okay.
You could say it's A.J. Preller's fault.
For what?
For not putting Jason Adam on the roster. They said he was ready to go. They want to save him. He's eligible to come back on April 6th.
Well, he's
pitching this weekend.
Let me tell you something. It's already A.J. Preller's fault because he had the audacity to hire a guy with no experience in Craig Stammen, who doesn't have a clue, obviously, and is not ready to manage in the major leagues, according to people who are overreacting to an 0-2 start.
I agree with you that Craig Stammen is not to fully blame for all of this, nor is he to little bit blame for this, but these are the decisions that we're looking towards him and see how he's going to make them.
And I thought he did everything just fine last night. I think he had a gut that Estrada could get him out of that after the bases were loaded, and Estrada got him a weak ground ball that they couldn't get an out on. And I saw some people writing and tweeting, well, Bogart shouldn't have been playing over where he was playing.
Yeah, we're just nitpicking everything.
Now you're nitpicking everything because obviously Bogarts was positioned where the analytics said the batter, Riley Green, would 100%. Hit the ball. So you're not going to you want to criticize Stammen and say, well, Bogart should have been in the hole. He should have been waiting for that ground ball. They would have turned to. Well, that's not what happened because the analytics told Bogarts he had to play over where he's playing.
Craig Stammen got the ball that he wanted. It was just the defenders were out of position.
He didn't hit it to anybody, and Estrada got the next guy on a strikeout. So, look, I thought the gut feel of Craig Stammen was pretty good right there. And then he said, now I got one out to get. I'm going to my veteran who's been in this situation 50 times, 100 times to get out a rookie who's got to now face one of the tough lefty. And, the kid won. But, again, it's all overreaction. Now, Steven Souza is also on his head's on the chopping block, the hitting coach of the Padres, because they haven't hit yet, and they're batting 194, and they have a 549 OPS after 2 games, which is pathetic, but it's also 2 games. I'm not quite ready to throw the whole thing away.
No,
I don't like the fact that they've struck out 19 times in 2 games, but they just faced Skubal and Valdez.
That's what I wanted you to mention.
They're 2 of the best pitchers in baseball.
Skubal did Skubal things. Valdez, they had some opportunities last night against him, but for the most part, he was really good. I want to see what they do against Ryan Flaherty today. Jack Flaherty. I don't know who Ryan Flaherty is, but Jack Flaherty.
You know who Ryan Flaherty is. He used to be the bench coach for the Padres.
Oh, that's why. But the lineup is different today.
All right, we'll go into that in a minute. We got to get to a break. We'll get the lineup. I'm curious to see what they do with a righty on the mound. We'll talk about that. We'll look ahead. All right, you're 0-2. The best thing you can do now is get to 1-2 because you got a day off tomorrow, and I don't feel like stewing at 0-3 for 48 hours. So we'll talk about what they got to do that. The NCAA tournament, we'll keep your eye on that. Everything else going on in sports. We are broadcasting live. We hope you'll come visit us, the far corner, right in the corner of 10th, across from the ballpark. You can't miss it. Got the block party going on. You got Gwen and Chris on 97.3 The Fan. is always in it to win it.
You never told. We're going to have to one day tell the story of you watching Jury Duty and then having a guy named Tony Gwynn on the show.
No, it's Anthony.
Anthony Gwynn.
There's a character on the Netflix. I think it's a Netflix. Might be Hulu.
Prime Video.
Thank you. Prime Video. Highly recommend. It's a very funny show. It's called Jury Duty. The second season, and one of the characters on it is Anthony Gwynn.
They have to be listening.
Gwin.
That's so funny.
Anthony Gwynn is the character's name.
You can't make that up.
I thought it was pretty funny.
Before, I'm sorry, I rudely interrupted you.
I'll get back to Iowa and Illinois.
Okay.
They can wait.
Okay.
What can't wait is I got to have a lineup, and I don't want to hear it yet. I want to guess what's going on.
Okay.
First of all, I have not enjoyed Fernando batting leadoff the first two games.
Join the club.
I'm standing by what I said earlier. I want him in the middle of the order. He has said that he feels better in the middle of the order, although, he'll always accept what he's given without complaining.
Yep.
But it seems like he would rather hit in the middle of the order, get somebody other than him, whether it's if it has to be Xander, if you got to find somebody else right-handed. I don't want Fernando wasting it at the top of the order. I just think they're a stronger team with him in the middle somewhere. Jackson Merrill batting second. So if my leadoff guy gets on, I got the hole open between first and second. And then I get Fernando and Manny, and I go from there. I might even bat Ramon Laureano leadoff if I had to. I just don't want Fernando there. So
100%
here we are now. First time right-handed pitcher. If they don't have Jake Cronenworth leading off tonight, before you tell me, if they don't have Jake Cronenworth leading off tonight, my comment would be, then why did you waste all of his time in spring training? So give me the lineup.
Nick, hit the sounder. Thank you. Leading off for your San Diego Padres, Jake Cronenworth.
Well, yes, why not?
I'm with you on all of this.
He led off the whole spring training. I mean, if you weren't going to use him in the season, that'd be kind of silly, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be.
Right.
Batting second, which I'm still surprised about this, Fernando.
Okay.
Before we go any further, I was thinking about this last night. When Fernando bats at 1 or 2, you're robbing him of a shot at the end of the game. They would have liked to have him up. If he hits 4th or 5th, he's able to bat at the end of the game in the 8th or the 9th inning. When he's batting first, you're not going to see him as much.
I don't understand that. What do you say? Wait, I'm disagreeing with you because I don't understand your point.
When you bat him first or second, he's always early in the order. At the end of the game, you're not going to get him because you're usually going through the 4, 5, 6, 7 guys.
You've done a study that
I have not done a study.
You've done a study that in the 9th inning, the leadoff guy never comes up?
I didn't say never. This is a thought I had on my couch last night, and I ran it by you now before running it by you on the air, and you're not buying it.
The analytics say that he should bat first first because he's the best hitter, and you shouldn't take at-bats away from him. I'm saying bat him 3rd or 4th so he can drive in more runs when he does bat. But I at the moment, it seems to me Craig Stammen is convinced of that one analytic that says Fernando's got to bat as much as possible.
Yep.
So I'm going to bat him lead off against lefties. I'm going to bat him second against righties, which is what he's doing today. It's not my favorite, but go ahead.
I can move on. Third base, Manny Machado batting 3rd. Jackson Merrill hitting cleanup, playing center field. Bogart's 5th. Playing shortstop, Gavin Sheets at first base, batting 6th. Laureano in left field, batting 7th. Castellanos DHing, batting 8th. And Freddie Fermin behind the plate for Randy Vasquez.
All right, so day off for Miguel Andujar. And
he's been hitting the ball okay.
Yeah, okay so far. And I did notice that Campusano went 0 for 3 in his first shot last night. And I know people are going to be adding that up on him. The earlier he gets a couple of hits, the better, because you don't want it to go 0 for 6, 0 for 9, 0 for 12, and start getting into that again. But I know people are all keeping an eye on it. I'm sure they are.
Oh, of course. But what about his ABS challenges? He actually, last night, both of his challenges got a second strike for Michael King, and then they would become inning-ending strikeouts. So he won his 2 challenges, and Michael King said, yeah, he had a tough night at the plate, but you know what he did? He came right in after he struck out, sat down next to me. We talked hitters. So if he's going to do something, focus on the defense.
Well, look, Michael King, it was good to see after his spring training, which was a disaster. If you could describe Michael King's spring training in one word, disaster would be the word. And then he comes out, 5 innings, 1 hit?
1 hit.
That's
it was good.
That's what we wanted to see.
And Jackson Merrill did rob a home run, so that was nice as well.
Let's talk about the youngster for Detroit, McGonigal, right?
Yes.
He gets 4 hits on opening day. He homers last night, except for Jackson takes it away from him. And then he comes back and gets the game-winning hit later.
This dude's insane already.
But have you looked around baseball? Have you seen what's going on?
Rookie phenoms.
First 2 games of his career, Chase DeLauder, Cleveland, 3 home runs.
Yep.
In the last 75 years, only 1 other player has done that.
Really?
And that's Trevor Story.
Interesting.
And he was with the Rockies when he did it.
Yes.
3 home runs in his first 2 major league games. 75 years, 1 other guy.
That's
Chase
crazy.
DeLauder just did it. J.J. Weatherholt for St. Louis. First at bat, home run. Today, bottom of the 10th, runners at second and third, down by a run, base hit, 2-run, game-winning single. That's in 3 games. This guy's already, or 2 games, the guy's already given you that. Carson Benj, New York Mets. Home run, stolen base in his very first game. Fantasy people are already scrambling probably to pick him up. That's crazy. And it makes me think that maybe the Padres should have just given Jace Bowen that last spot on the roster so that we had one of those guys on our team. It's crazy that all these guys have never played before. And the very first time, the very first weekend, they're like starring all over the league.
Yeah, I saw this, and McGonigal, as Tony calls him, McGinnigill, he's really annoying, but that's because he's really good.
Well, they don't know what to do.
Have you heard the whole thing with Tony Gwynn and McGonigal, how McGonigal's dad showed him a lot of Tony Gwynn, and so he grew up watching Tony Gwynn videos and things like that.
I'm sure he's not the only one.
Because he's making contact all over the place.
Well, a lot of the young hitters have one advantage, and that is that there's not really much of a scout for them, and you have to kind of figure it out as a pitcher. And so then maybe they have a little edge, but, in that at bat last night, if you're Wandy Peralta, you just can't go to a 3-2 count. You just can't, because now he knows you're throwing a fastball. And any major league hitter, when they know a fastball's coming, they have a huge advantage. And he was ready for it, and give him credit. He laced it into the alley and won the game. But, yeah, I mean, these rookies all around baseball, McGonigal's not the only one so far.
Yeah, he's not. You're right. Here's the Tigers lineup real quick. Kerry Carpenter, Gleyber Torres, Colt Keith, Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, Kevin McGonigal, Matt Vierling, Zach McKinstry, Jake Rogers, and then Jack Flaherty. We knew that the Detroit Tigers were a good team, and we knew that it was going to be tough sledding starting off against Skubal and Valdez. So it's not surprising to me that they're 0-2, especially, obviously, because there's a lot more games, Chris. I'm not going to panic. You're going to be proud of me.
Well, look, they can go 160-2, so that would probably get the job done. Although I do want to point out that the Dodgers' magic number for clinching the NL West is already down to 159 because they're 2-0, and the Padres and the Diamondbacks and the Giants are all 0-2. Right now, that leaves second place to the Rockies.
Wow.
Because they're only 0-1.
Okay.
The Rockies are sitting.
Take a picture, Rockies.
The Rockies are sitting alone in second place right now in the National League West. That's how early in the season this is.
Drew Goodman did say he was looking forward to the season.
And they haven't won a game yet, but they're doing okay. Look, you got to hit better than 549 OPS on your home field, but you are going against 2 really good pitchers. The old bugaboo, you're 3 for 16 with RISP. You got 1 home run, and that came when the score was 8-1.
Yep.
You've struck out 19 times in 2 games. You've only walked 5 times. You haven't had a lot of good, passes at the baseball. Hopefully, I'm putting that on the fact that they faced 2 of the best pitchers in all of baseball.
Yep.
Tonight, Jack Flaherty, he's capable of being that way. The Padres can't let him be that way. They got to find a way to make things a little more uncomfortable for him. On the other side, the thing that kills me is the 12 walks in 2 games. That's just inexcusable for a Ruben Niebla, pitching staff.
Yep.
And, Pivetta, he has to take the blame for losing game 1.
He did.
And Estrada's got to take the blame for losing game 2.
He did.
That's it. All the rest of the stuff, in a lot of ways, doesn't matter.
What is this, Chris, that we were just brought?
I just ordered it. It's something spectacular. I know that.
Oh, is it like the truffle potatoes?
I believe
Here
so.
at Far Corner.
Far Corner has the best
that
food.
That looks great.
You know the thing I love about this place? It's a sports bar, but the food is just another level up. I mean, they got the pizza, but it's like really pizza that's like the bomb.
Yes.
You're looking over my shoulder.
I know, I'm looking at it right now. I'm starving.
You can't even stand to wait for it. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, NCAA, the tournament continues today. Ben Higgins had a hilarious tweet about the Iowa-Illinois game. We'll share that when we come back. Get you ready for Purdue, Arizona later today, and the rest of college basketball and more on the Padres and Tigers on 97.3 The Fan.
So last night the bus was to leave for the airport at 8 p.m. And Tony, you know this. Everybody knows this. You know, if you're hooked up with anything like this, as Pete Carroll used to say, on time means you're late.
Right.
So Amy's the young lady who handles all the travel and puts together the itinerary. So we're just about ready to leave. You know,
TJ Lacita.
She stands up as the bus is kind of rumbling to life. And she goes, okay, everybody get your passports out. I want to make sure nobody leaves without their passport. Because, again, you are talking to college kids here, and you don't want
college
them
kids,
to,
That's who she thought she was talking to.
She thought she. So I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking to my head, like, you don't need a passport for this trip. I didn't even bring one. We're just going to the Bahamas. And so, yeah.
That was your thought process? The Bahamas are an international flight, I believe.
This is almost equal to the fact that North Dakota borders Canada.
Yeah, I think it does equal that scrape.
Actually, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I forgot about it too, buddy.
Right, so for whatever reason, I did not bring my passport. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, my stomach, you have your sinking feeling. And I'm like, what? Never do that. Yeah, thank you. And I was like, oh no, I don't have my passport. Here's my second thought, guys. If I just quietly call Lori, because the flight wasn't until 10 o'clock. You got some extra time. So I said, if I call Lori and just have her bring my passport down to the airport, I'll be able to get away with this without everybody knowing that I blew it. Because that isn't a factor here. You don't want to be embarrassed. So she's in the back checking the players' passport situation out. And I'm having this argument with myself. Oh, no, what do I do? And so my first thing is I'll call Lori, and I'll just say, hey, can you, I blew it. I forgot my passport. Can you meet me down at the airport? And then I thought, we live 25 minutes from the airport. Lori is not going to be happy.
Nope.
Getting my passport and driving it down there.
Because the airport is really easy to access these days.
And never easy to access, exactly. So I had a quick discussion with myself, and it was either A, it's time for me to embarrass myself in front of the team, or I'm going to have to ask Lori to drive to the airport. I chose the first one. So I said, oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot my passport. I don't have it. And Stacey Terry Hudson looked at me and like, what? Like you? I mean, she wasn't mean about it. She was just like so surprised. And as I was, and everybody's like, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I live, literally 10 minutes from the school. And I said, I'm going to call Lori right now. Is there any way we can just hold up for 10 minutes?
What?
That's all. It was either that or make Lori drive down, Scrape. You got to understand my options here. They're very limited.
I get it, but I think your mistake means that you have to
do the hard one.
Yeah, you have to deal with the hard part.
I agree. Well, this didn't turn out a whole lot better. Amy, it's her first year on the job, but she's a very nice gal, so I don't have any really, I don't have any cachet with her yet. And she's like, looking at her watch, looking at Coach Stacey Terry. She's like, 10 minutes, because that can be a little.
That's stressful.
Well,
it's stressful. And she doesn't care. Her job is to get everybody on that damn plane.
Right. And
So,
a lot of times what we don't know, the traveling party doesn't know, is they've already like called ahead and talked. They have a travel agent that's going to kind of expedite the process a little bit. And if they mess up that contact, then everybody's messed up.
So everything is thrown asunder if you got to wait 10 minutes. And but I'm on the phone with Lori, and Lori's like, well, I'm not going to the airport. There's no way. She's like, you tell them that I'll be there in 10 minutes.
You tell them.
And I will give Lori a lot of credit. She, while this discussion was going on, found the passport and was already in the car.
Whoa.
So I give her a ton of credit. She didn't wait for, okay, go get the passport and hurry up.
Because she knew she wasn't going to the airport. So
she knew she wasn't going to the airport. Exactly, Tony.
She's like, I'm in the car.
She did. She said, I'm in the car. So I told, Amy, and I got Lori on the phone. I'm telling Amy and Coach, I'm like, she's on her way. And I said, I drive this all the time. It really is 10 minutes. And they're like, all right, 10 minutes. So last night, the bus was to leave for the airport at 8 p.m. And Tony, you know this. Everybody knows this. If you're hooked up with anything like this, as Pete Carroll used to say, on time means you're late.
Right.
So Amy's the young lady who handles all the travel and puts together the itinerary. So we're just about ready to leave.
TJ Lucida.
She stands up as the bus is kind of rumbling to life. And she goes, okay, everybody get your passports out. I want to make sure nobody leaves without their passport, because again, you are talking to college kids here, and you don't want
college kids, huh?
That's who she thought she was talking to.
She thought she. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to my head, like, you don't need a passport for this trip. I didn't even bring one. We're just going to the Bahamas. And so, yeah.
That was your thought process? The Bahamas are an international flight, I believe.
This is almost equal to the fact that North Dakota borders Canada.
Yeah, I think it does equal that scrape.
Actually, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I forgot about it too, buddy.
Right. So for whatever reason, I did not bring my passport. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, my stomach, you have your sinking feeling. And I'm like, what? Never do that. Yeah, thank you. And I was like, oh no, I don't have my passport. Here's my second thought, guys. If I just quietly call Lori.
Just along the way. I did want to thank Max again, who runs this place, for having us. And I told you going out that what makes Far Corner extra special in my mind is it's a sports bar. It's a place you get ready for the ball game, but they take the food to just a different level.
Yes, they do.
He just brought us a tri-tip sandwich that has toasted mustard on the bun.
Yes, it does.
Toasted mustard.
Yes, it does.
So you put the mustard underneath there and toast the mustard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a chef, so I don't know.
I'm not either,
it's
but
delicious.
It's really good. That's all I know. So anyway, Max has brought us some stuff, and that's why I didn't come back when I was supposed to.
I've never seen a guy in food heaven before.
That was really good.
Did you all see him in food heaven over here?
It matters. It matters. Food's important to me. You know that.
It was that good. I took a bite a little too late.
Food used to come in like third or fourth place on my list of things, but
it's gone up.
Well, the Dolphins stink now, so I can drop them down.
So
you know what
fifth.
I mean? Yeah, right. The food's moved up the ladder a little bit. NCAA tournament, I got a couple of thoughts, and then you and I got to get to Tiger Woods.
Yes.
Because this happened yesterday. I didn't get a chance to talk about it with you.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about it with you. But first, Iowa, Illinois. Ben Higgins had a funny tweet. He has a lot of funny tweets. He
does.
But this one was good. He said, a game between the fourth place team in the Big Ten and the ninth place team in the Big Ten should not be in the Elite Eight. It should be on ESPN Plus. And he's right. This is what's happened. Illinois finished fourth. Iowa finished ninth.
Yep.
And now they're playing each other for a trip to the Final Four. I will say this. Iowa is at least a fun story.
Yep.
They got a coach now that everyone says is a genius, only he wasn't a genius all season when they were losing almost all their games. But now he's brilliant because he beat Florida and he beat Nebraska. Well, you should beat Nebraska when they're so stupid they only had 4 guys on the floor at the end of the game.
I didn't see that, honestly.
I don't understand what Nebraska – I mean,
I didn't see that.
How can you make a mistake like that? That's so inexcusable. I do freshman girls basketball games, and the coaches get 5 kids on the floor.
I mean, high school coaches.
That's
can
what
do
I'm
that.
saying. Freshman girls.
Oh, I thought you were talking college. You're talking
I'm talking
high school.
about high school games with the freshman girls, and we come back from a timeout. The coach makes sure there's 5 kids in the game.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Unbelievable. Fred Hoiberg just looked at the camera afterward and said, you know what? That's on me. It's on you. Like, how could you do that? I mean, to me, it almost erased everything good that Fred Hoiberg did this year with Nebraska. They're down by 3 points. There's 40 seconds to go. They need a stop. They go full court pressure just to try and pressure the ball, but they don't need to foul. All they need is a stop, and they get the ball back. They can win or tie the game. And they put 4 guys out there. And the Iowa kid runs down the other end. They throw it to him. There's nobody guarding him, and he lays it in the basket. They win the game.
And then the coach goes, "Oh yeah, my bad, my bad."
I can't believe it.
My bad.
This has got to be one of the biggest mistakes ever. They want to talk about Chris Webber calling timeout at the end of the national championship game. At least Chris Webber was in a moment of confusion and delirium, and
You're
fans
coming out
are
of a
screaming,
timeout.
and everybody's yelling, and he calls timeout, and they didn't have any, and they lost. But this is a head coach not getting enough players out on the floor for the most important moment of his career. It's beyond me. I can't believe it.
You know what I think will be forgotten is because, honestly, I saw that nowhere on my sports algorithm today, which is kind of shocking because you would think that it would be a big deal.
Well, that's all they talked about yesterday because the game was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
But
how many games did they win, though? I think that's the big thing. Nebraska's just happy they won 2 games in the tournament.
They are, but I'm saying that they won their 2 games and they finally won that, but wait, we're posing for pictures. They won 2 games, but what he did to me just wipes it out. That's all I'm going to remember. Anyway, so that's how Iowa got in. Illinois, on the other hand, I don't understand how they finished 4th in the Big Ten. They're legit.
Yeah, they're really good.
They are legit. And they toyed with Houston, and Houston was playing at home.
Yep.
And they went in there, and that game wasn't even close. It only got close at the end because Houston started pressing and threw up a couple threes to only lose by 10. They should have lost by 20. Illinois looks not only legit, they should beat Iowa easily today, I think, based on what I've seen. But I also think Illinois is going to beat either UConn or Duke in the Final Four. I don't know for sure, but Illinois looks that good to me.
They're pretty good.
They look really good.
Here's the Illinois story I wanted to tell you, though.
Yeah.
Illinois students are very excited about the run that's going on in the NCAA tournament.
I saw this. Go ahead.
They had to, pass, not a law, but they had to pass an order.
An ordinance.
Ordinance, that's the word.
Yeah.
An ordinance saying that you pretty much can't buy alcohol after 8 p.m. in the city with Champaign.
Yeah.
Because they're so worried about the riots that are going to happen after.
If they win. Yeah.
Last time they won, I guess there was a bunch of kids that were climbing all over stuff. And so they're literally, you can't buy packaged alcohol, which means like beer. You can't buy 30-pack or anything like that. You have to stop selling at after the first half is over.
Yeah.
And they did this in the town of a college town.
They're doing it to save the students from themselves.
Well, they're smart. I just didn't know that's a thing.
Do you remember how many people got injured celebrating the Eagles winning the Super Bowl?
I do.
I mean, it's time if the people, the citizens, and in this case, the Champaign-Urbana, we're talking about students.
Yeah.
But if the citizens can't protect themselves, then it's up to the rule makers to help protect them. And that's what's happening here. You're right. The Illinois kids can't be trusted tonight.
And I don't blame them. I don't blame them because, honestly, if my school was going to the Final Four, I would probably be
I don't know if you remember.
Leading the charge of people climbing up light poles.
Well, they were climbing up light poles on Montezuma when the Aztecs went to the Final Four. This is a pretty common occurrence nowadays.
Why do we just lose our brain when something good happens?
Because we feel like we have an excuse to act like an idiot.
I guess.
When you are given what you perceive to be an excuse to act like an idiot, you take it.
That's true.
That's what most people do.
That's a good little bit of psychology right there.
That's exactly why. Anyway, I think Illinois looks really good. The other game today is Purdue and Arizona. Purdue's, I think, got a really good coach, Matt Painter. He's gotten the most out of that team. Arizona destroyed Arkansas the other night. They scored 109 points, and they only made 5 threes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They didn't do it by shooting 25 threes. They just scored every time they had the ball. The difference, I think people are going to get a little carried away with Arizona in this game and say, no way they can lose. I think they can. I don't think they will. But they can lose because Purdue is going to actually guard them.
Mm-hmm.
John Calipari, for all he is, doesn't really ever coach a whole lot of defense. He gets a ton of really talented guys. He rolls the ball out, and he says, go play. And that's good enough when you've got as much talent as Arkansas has to win a lot of games, especially when they have that one kid, Acuff, who's one of the best players. As good as Acuff is, and I know he's going to be the best freshman, and I know somebody will draft him really high. Acuff's butt will be on the bench in the NBA if he doesn't learn how to guard somebody.
If he can score.
No.
Luka?
Yeah, fair enough. You better score at Luka's.
He's in a different bracket.
Yeah, you better score at Luka's rate then.
So
if you
35 points a game.
Right. But, Arkansas doesn't guard anybody. So they just try to outscore you. Well, you're not going to outscore Arizona. That's why they lost. I think Purdue is going to make it a lot closer today. The couple of games tomorrow I want to talk about, and then I want to get to Tiger. Duke beat St. John's last night. And I looked at it right after the game because I knew it was going to happen. And it did. And nobody's talking about this, I think, because they're scared. I think the people who follow college basketball are scared to say anything negative about the goody two-shoes of Duke. But I'll say it.
Okay.
Last night, Duke shot 24 free throws. St. John's shot 8. Now, if you want to roll, not you, but
that's 3 times as many.
3 times as many free throws for Duke. Now,
you like that math I just did in my head?
Very good by you.
Thank you.
Now, if you're out there and you say, well, okay, so what? It's one game, whatever.
I kind of said that.
Right. You're going, okay, so what? They had the advantage. All right. How about the TCU game in round 2? Duke shot 23. TCU shot 10. And you say, okay, that's just coincidence. 2 games in a row. Well, let's go back to the first game against Siena. Duke shot 21. Siena shot 6. All told, in the tournament so far, Duke has shot 68 free throws. Their opponents, 24. Now, I cannot believe that all the officials have all got together and said, hey, we got to cheat for Duke, man. That's it.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
There's no way all the officials in different conferences for different places. But there's something about that Shire the Crier, and people just don't think they can call a foul against his team. And, look, Duke's good. I get
What's
that.
What's going to happen if they do?
What is going to happen?
See, so I'm going to cross-examine. Why would they not call
I don't
a foul?
know.
What's going to happen?
I think there's some sort of preconceived notion that Duke just is perfect out there and they never do anything wrong. Here's the big thing for tomorrow. They're going to play UConn. Who's the coach of UConn?
Dan Hurley.
You think Dan Hurley doesn't know that Duke has shot 68 free throws to 24 in the tournament?
Oh, he's well aware.
He is well aware of that. And
he's going to lose his mind.
He is going to lose his mind.
I have to watch this game
if they
now.
start calling fouls on UConn and don't call any fouls on Duke.
Is it possible, as the referee of the show?
Yes.
Is it possible that Duke is just playing that good a defense?
Yes.
Okay.
It is possible.
Okay.
It's not probable. And I know that a lot of people say, well, St. John's shot a lot of threes. Hey, St. John's had a big center, Okafor, who got a lot of traffic going to the rim last night, but he didn't get to the free throw line. Duke's Boozer, he's on the free throw line every time he's down low. It's almost too coincidental. And I'm sure there's Duke fans out there say, hey, you're taking away from our team. Duke's really good already. They don't need any help. But 68 free throws to 24, that's crazy in a 3-game span, especially at this level. You're talking NCAA tournament, the best teams playing each other. It just should not be that much one-sided.
Could it also be because Siena was bad and they were fouling more?
I'm going to give you the first game, 21-6. You're playing Siena. I'm barely going to give you the TCU game, 23-10.
Yeah, because they're like a legit.
Because they're TCU. But I can't give you St. John's. You got Rick Pitino over there, a guy who knows what he's doing, and you got big kids on St. John's and athletic kids who can play. 24-8 should not happen. It's too coincidental, and I'm going to be looking for this tomorrow in that Duke-UConn game. And you know that if it gets out of hand and it's looking one-sided, Dan Hurley will lose his mind, because I guarantee you he knows this stat. Yeah. If I know it, he knows it.
I can just imagine him just falling on the floor because he's so exasperated.
And, the other thing is you look at Shire over there, and every time there is a foul on Duke, he loses. He's like, ah!
I don't think Shire has any power.
I'm tired of Shire. I'm so tired of this guy. He comes off as Mr. Clean, Mr. Perfect. Oh, they beat up my assistant coach. I'm so tired of this guy. And I honestly think that there's something different with the Duke standard. And I think UConn, as great as UConn is, they have to find a way to defeat that tomorrow. And that is going to be hard.
Before we get into Tiger, I just want to remind everyone that we have prizes to give away. We're going to be giving away at 3:55. So come down to Far Corner on the corner of 10th. Chris, I meant to go look at what the street is. I'm terrible with streets.
This one here?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's right across the street from the Padres Parkade, Far Corner on 10th. But pair of tickets to Monday's game, a signed Michael King baseball, and a Michael King bobblehead. So you have to be here at 3:55 p.m. You have to go up to the bar, put your name in the hopper, all new names, but we'll be drawing those at 3:55.
10th and J.
10th and J, thank you.
You're welcome.
Because I'm the guy who's like 10th and L, and then everybody's at 10th and L, and they're not in the right place. So thank you, 10th and J.
Now, if you're coming down here to the ball game tonight, and you want to come see Scraby and I here at 10th and J at Far Corner, please do so. However, we invite you to drive more carefully than one Eldrick Tiger Woods. I honestly almost couldn't believe it yesterday when I saw it come up. I was watching I was on the airplane, so I didn't have a lot of, access to Twitter and all this. Yeah. All I saw was breaking news: Tiger Woods in an car accident with injuries. Period.
Oh, well, that was kind of a false headline.
Well, I don't know. Was he hurt or not?
No.
Well,
no one was hurt.
Nobody was hurt.
Tiger was crawled out of his car after, and his pride. His mugshot tells me his pride was really hurt.
I'm just saying this is the first thing I saw.
Yeah. Okay.
My mind went all the way to. Yep. How many more times does this guy get in an accident before he just kills himself? And I hope this wasn't the day. I sat there for the next 15 minutes waiting for the update on the bottom of what really happened. Then I found out rollover. Then I find out, he's DUI and he's taken to jail. And my first thing is, well, he probably is on these pain meds and he's out driving like an idiot. That's what it seems like it was. Somebody's got to protect Tiger Woods from himself. It is incredible to me that a man with the legacy that he created, it's almost unfathomable that somebody could start to chip away at that legacy. But he's not chipped away at it, Scraby. He's crumbled it.
He most definitely has. My mind went to the same thing your mind went to. And number one, I am happy that they're holding him accountable. And because he's Tiger Woods and he's famous, they didn't just look the other way. I also hear the end of the hour music, so we can continue on the other side.
Yeah, we'll pick this up, but this whole Tiger Woods thing is scary for Tiger Woods. More Gwen and Chris from Far Corner Petco Park, Padres baseball, 97.3 The Fan. All right, Gwen and Chris, hour number 2 of a special Saturday 2-hour edition. Chris Huddle, Matt Scraby, broadcasting live. Far Corner. The name is Far Corner, but it's really a close corner.
It is close corner.
Yeah, it's close to Petco Park. It's right here on the corner of 10th and J. So it's not far from anything.
No.
Really. But it is delicious food. It is a great atmosphere for a pregame. And I know people come down here and love it. And Max has already taken care of us by giving us a sampling from the kitchen.
He brought this sandwich over, the tri-tip sandwich. I am loving it.
How much of mine is left, Scraby?
None. If you just tuned in earlier, Chris was on the air and he just went to food heaven. He just forgot what he was doing because he was eating this sandwich.
So good. All right, we're happy to be here. Happy you're with us. And if you're on your way down to the ball game, especially if you park in the Parkade, we're right across the street from there. But come by, say hello, get your name into the hopper, because at 3:55, before we go off the air, they're going to pick a winner of tickets to Monday's game and a bobblehead Michael King signed and a Michael King signed baseball.
Yes.
Very
no,
cool.
the bobblehead is not signed. It's just a bobblehead, but the baseball is signed for sure.
Scraby will sign the bobblehead for you if you'd like.
If you want. I mean, it's my signature's not worth anything.
Especially on a Michael King bobblehead.
Yeah. I also want to say that if you're not going to the game, come on down here. There is so much room. There's so many TVs, as Chris said. And Far Corner, 10th and J, is awesome.
It's fun. We're having a lot of fun. Second year in a row we've been here right around opening day to celebrate the beginning of a new season. Don't forget now, tomorrow, Sunday.
It's crazy.
A day of rest.
Would you?
So strange. I've never seen this. I've been following baseball for 90 years. Don't recall too many Sundays off.
I think it's because they did this whole weird stagger start to the season where they put the Yankees and the Giants on Wednesday night. Then the Giants and Yankees didn't play Thursday. Then they picked up last night.
A lot of teams opened Thursday. Some didn't open till last night.
Yeah.
It is a little.
The Padres are off on Sunday.
Yeah, they'll be off Sunday, but Monday right back at it against the Gigantes. By the way, I believe they're already ready to fire Tony Vitello in San Francisco.
That's not a joke, Chris.
I know.
My friends are texting me.
I know, it's 2 games. The Giant. Here's how bad the Giants are right now. Rookie Kevin McGonigal of the Tigers had 4 hits on opening night. In 2 games, the Giants have 4 hits. That's all they have.
They haven't scored a run. Well, I don't know when they're playing today, but
they didn't score a run in the
first 2 games.
First 2 games, and they have 4 hits. Luis Ariz has not saved the Giants. I think they're playing right about now. It's a 4:00 afternoon game against the Yankees today, Scrape. They haven't played yet.
Okay.
Tony Vitello, obviously a difficult start. And apparently after the game yesterday, he talked about how he thought that the guys were a little pressing and making a little bit too much about themselves and blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
Something like that. And whatever he said was repeated to Robbie Ray, the pitcher.
Oh, no.
And Robbie Ray said, that's ridiculous. It's totally not true.
Oh, God.
I don't know exactly what he said, but I know Robbie Ray was like, no. This is absurd. So this guy, I know that the reason that I don't want to give Tony Vitello as much rope, like Craig Stammen, I'm going to give plenty of rope because I like Craig Stammen, and I think Craig Stammen's doing the right way. And it's going to take time. He's going to make mistakes. And we can talk about last night. We already did earlier in the show. We'll talk about it again, whether he made a mistake, in the 8th inning. But Tony Vitello came in like he owned the place.
He did.
And the very first thing he did was argue with the writers in San Francisco, getting upset with them for breaking the story of his arrival
Too early.
And so I just don't understand a guy getting an opportunity like he got and not sounding grateful at all.
No, he was very upset with the way he was perceived.
Yeah.
And when you're a manager, it's not about you, bro. It's about your players. Yes, people blame you, so it's about you when you lose.
Well, again, he's 0-2. If he wins 3 in a row, then everybody will forget everything. But
I think this is going to end disastrously.
In the back of everybody's mind, people are waiting for that to be a complete disaster. Here's the thing: if it is a disaster, guess how many college coaches are going to get a chance to coach Major League Baseball down the road? 0. Like Tony Vitello is representing every college coach out there who ever wants to manage in the big leagues.
Yeah, he's not doing a very good job of doing it through 2 games, obviously. But
it's not even the 2 games. It's
the bedside manner.
It's the whole thing.
The bedside manner is not great. You cannot just start your spring training by attacking the writers for reporting on something that he wasn't ready for to come out.
If you're already saying things after 2 games that your players are saying is untrue,
that's bad.
That's not a good sign. Not a good sign. I don't want to bury him too early, but it's a shaky start for him. He'll be here next week. Maybe we can have him on the show Monday, Scrape. Give him a call. I'm sure he'd love to come on and chat with us.
I do actually know the PR person from the Giants. I could reach out and see.
Well, let's see if we can get him on, and we'll say, hey, would you like to, try to change? As a matter of fact, Tony, we're having you on not to interview you, but so you can listen to Uncle Chris. He's going to tell you what you should do to try and kind of, get a little better.
Get out of this PR nightmare.
Get out of this little early PR nightmare.
And Buster Posey is taking a hit on this because he's the guy who allegedly really went for this. And it's 2 games in, but it seems like there's some discourse going on.
It does. Last laughs could be the loudest.
Really
but
quick,
right now,
fellas,
all the laughs are at Tony Vitello and the Giants. So not great.
If I may interrupt, fellas, the Ben and Woods talked about this earlier. Vitello essentially said, and pardon me, I'm not quoting him exactly, but he basically said,
"Sorry, Nick, I cannot hear you."
Okay,
Nick's interrupting us, which is fine, but I can't hear you, Nick.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear. I can't hear anything to begin with. We couldn't hear the music earlier.
There's a band right outside the.
Yeah, for some reason we hear the station really well, but we cannot hear anything that's coming back from the studio. It's very strange. So sorry about that, Nick. But anyway.
Send Scraby a text.
Yeah, send me a text, Nick. Send me a text.
Yeah, thank you. Look, that's the Giants thing. I'm more worried about the Padres thing. And let's talk about Stammen a little bit. We mentioned it earlier.
We do have Tiger Woods to go back to, remember.
Oh, yes. Okay. Let's finish up with Tiger then first.
Okay,
and then we'll save Craig Stammen's 8th inning decision-making for the next segment.
So Tiger, I think that one of the things that keeps coming up in my mind, and I said this a little bit yesterday, but I grew up loving this guy. I grew up with this guy being my hero.
You're not alone.
I'm not alone.
You are in a long, long line.
I'm aware of this, but as someone who also has struggled with substance abuse, it makes me really sad to see that he cannot seemingly get it under control. I mean, I remember the police video when he got pulled over years ago, and he was singing things and stuff, and he was clearly out of it, and they determined that he was under the influence. This is his apparently 3rd charged DUI. Well, that's not, and he got caught this one time, and I'm telling you right now, he probably has been driving around under the influence for a while, because this doesn't just happen one time.
No, there's no way that you get caught DUI 3 times out of 3. You get caught DUI 3 times out of 103. There's 100 other times he's driven and he's got and nothing's happened. But
it's very sad to me.
In the Tiger Woods thing, it all started on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
What year was that?
2010, I think.
All right. When we all got wind of a little accident, hit a tree in his neighborhood. We couldn't imagine anything was wrong. We just figured it had to be something crazy. And it is unraveled from there. And when you say you're worried about Tiger Woods and his addiction to painkillers, which is, again, what, this looks like it is again. Understand, this is a man who has what? An addictive personality.
That is true. That's a great point.
It is what drives him. It's what drove him to be so great in the first place. The man was insane. He could sit out there on the range for hours and hours and work on hitting a ball 1 degree to the right or 1 degree to the left, do things that other people just could not do or would willing to do.
He has worn out golf clubs. He's hit so many golf balls.
All right, so that is the personality you're dealing with. This is the man, without getting too sordid, Scraven, I don't want to, was addicted to sex with, you name it.
Yeah.
While he was married, while he wasn't married, going to Vegas, sneaking around late at night, all weekend. Who knows what it was?
Went to quote-unquote rehab for it.
He was addicted to that. He's addicted to the painkillers, which he probably had to originally take because, he's had so many injuries. But you have to be able to manage it. You're trying to give painkillers to somebody that is liable to be addicted to them because of their personality. And now, we're getting to a point now where you have to be worried that the guy's just going to kill himself. And I don't mean intentionally.
Yeah,
I mean
an accident.
Yes.
Because it's happening. And I'm really hoping that this is enough for the people around him to be like, dude, you cannot be doing this because you are going to kill someone. You're going to kill yourself. This is a very serious situation. Also, I got to look at these doctors that are presumably prescribing these to him because I know when I got my shoulder surgery 2 years ago, they had very strict checks and balances on when I could get them and when I was requesting too soon. Or
you have to be careful giving medicine to somebody that's addictive like this.
And when I got mine, I had my parents help me to distribute it. That's how I did as a former alcoholic. But Tiger, you got to think that these people are kind of just prescribing this to him because he's Tiger Woods. And I would look into the doctors.
I don't want to put Tiger Woods in the same group with the tragic end of Michael Jackson, Prince, how many others, Scrape, where
Countless.
People die, Elvis, and we go all the way back to Elvis.
Who was the guy?
The One Direction guy just a couple years ago, Liam whatever.
Oh, yes. And
Liam Payne.
Yeah, there was
Look, there's so many countless examples, and I'm speaking out of turn here because I don't know Tiger's specific situation, but I'm starting to group him in with all of this stuff. And these things, they end badly. They just do.
Oh, Nick just texted me. Tyler Skaggs. That's a huge one right
Tyler
there.
Skaggs is an athlete, not of the same fame as the people I'm talking about, but you're right. Tiger Skaggs.
Professional athlete.
That's right.
It touches everyone. It's not just the people like me.
You know who else got addicted to that stuff? Brett Favre.
Brett Favre
had a really big bad time with it. The doctors have to take some responsibility in terms of trying to get him on the right path, but ultimately it's going to lie with Tiger Woods. You can only control so much. Somebody of the ilk of Tiger Woods, if he wants to get more painkillers, is going to be able to get them.
Totally.
Let's put Matthew Perry in here.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
blamed his doctors, rightly so. But it's still Matthew Perry who had to take the stuff and eventually kill himself. I hate to say it this, hardcore, but this is where I'm starting to go with Tiger Woods. I don't think we're overreacting, Scrape.
We're not.
I don't.
We're not. And if you think we're overreacting, that's fine. Maybe think about it a little bit more and think about how important this is and how dangerous this is.
I don't want something to happen to Tiger Woods, man. Tiger Woods is too much of a treasure. I'm sure everybody thought nothing would ever happen to Michael Jackson. Nothing would ever happen to Prince. Nothing would ever happen to Matthew Perry. Nothing would happen to any of these people. Elvis. You got to be careful. It will. Tiger Woods has a legacy that is bigger than almost all of them.
Yep.
And he's almost destroyed it. He's got only a few people that are probably hanging with him at this point, a very small, much more small percentage.
You're right. And as someone who has been very close, front row seats to opiate addiction, it is a very difficult thing to get through. It's a very difficult thing to maintain. And you do die if you go overboard with this stuff, whether it's driving or whether you OD. I'm saying this right now just so everybody hears that it's important that you don't do this stuff.
I don't know what they're going to come through with the investigation on this particular incident, but
sounds like they're doing it by the book. So
whatever. No, I'm just saying I don't know what we're going to all learn.
Oh yeah.
My guess is Tiger was driving like an absolute maniac.
Yep.
Because he hit somebody,
a trailer on a truck,
and flipped his car.
Yeah.
If I hit a trailer, it would be a pretty bad move, but I don't think I'd be driving so crazily that my car would flip over.
Yeah.
And you look at the accident he got in the first time where he ended up in a ditch.
That makes me think, come on, what was going on there? And like now everything that Tiger does, I'm like, that was a much worse crash. He basically broke his leg in half and he was driving that car. like what was going on then, and nothing was charged or anything like that. But
well, you would think wouldn't you think, and this is where the addiction part starts kicking in. We're being Dr. Drew here and all these
totally
people,
are.
but
I have firsthand experience with addiction.
You do have a little bit of you have some knowledge.
I'm not saying I know everything.
We don't know everything. We don't claim to. But let me just ask this, and then we'll take a break, and we'll come back and talk about Craig Stammen, which is much more fun in games.
It is.
Last thing. Wouldn't you think in general, if you drove a car and you almost killed yourself because you're driving crazy, a la Tiger Woods 5-6 years ago, whenever that was,
up near
Palos Verdes.
Yep.
Okay. Would you think that you would ever get in a car again and drive crazy?
I can't tell you that I wouldn't. I think I would for the
you
first
think a lot
little
of
bit.
People would?
I think that people would for the first little bit, but once you start feeling that comfort again, I know, a comfortable feeling is a dangerous thing, because then you feel like, hey, I can do this. I just made a mistake that one time. But I would think if you're Tiger Woods, you're right. He's chasing an addiction. He's also chasing adrenaline, I have to think, because he's an adrenaline fiend.
Yeah, and he's got to find it somewhere because he doesn't have it on the golf course anymore.
No.
All right, we've broken that down ad nauseum, but I don't want
to. It was important.
I also don't want to sit here 6 years from now, Scraby, and go, remember that day we're sitting at the far corner, and I don't want to be right.
Yeah.
I don't want to be right. I want something to happen to keep me and you from being, make it like, okay, you guys were just being overly concerned. That's how I want it to be.
It's fine with me.
All right, Craig Stammen, I know many of you are overly concerned after the 8th inning last night. What did he do right? What did he do wrong? Did he do anything right? More Gwen and Chris ahead.
Did he do anything?
to a special Saturday with Gwen and Chris Ello, Matt Scraby today here at Far Corner, right on the corner of 10th and J. In the gas lamp, 10th and J is a stone's throw from the ballpark, Petco Park. And half an hour from now, we're going to be giving away this Michael King signed baseball. I can read the number 34.
Let me see.
I don't know about the Michael King part.
I like looking at. I see the M,
And you
I see the K, and I see a G. I don't see an I and an N.
Yeah, that could actually be a marketing signed baseball. MKG. What do you have there?
Marketing. This is a giveaway. It's the belt bag that they're going to be giving away
Tonight?
Hamby. Tonight?
Tonight's game? Camby doesn't know. Soon.
I'll look this up.
Look it up.
I wasn't. I should have had that information. That's a Saturday show thing. Okay.
That's a Saturday show.
But I know people are very into this.
Belt bags are back.
Yes, they are.
They used to call them
fanny packs.
fanny packs. I believe it's the same thing.
Why don't they call fanny packs anymore?
Because fanny packs became very uncool.
I think
nobody wants to
I
have.
think Nick said Monday's game.
Monday's game. Thank you, Nick. Nick comes through.
Okay, there he is.
Nick comes through back in the studio. Did we say hi to Ava yet? She's new to our promotion department.
Hello, Ava.
Pretty new. She's doing a hell of a job. Vanessa's over here too. We thank her for her help all day. They've been here all day.
Yes, and Hamby.
Well, Hamby goes without saying.
The great Hambino.
Nothing happens without the efforts of the great Hambino. We're broadcasting from the Far Corner. I do want to get into.
I do have to say, I'm required to say this.
Please.
That if you want tickets for Monday's game, you can go to the Padres website and buy those tickets.
Okay. What would have happened if you didn't say it?
Hamby would beat me up.
Hamby be upset with you?
He was like standing there waiting for me to say it. He was like, okay, you need to say this now.
He was being Papa Hamby. All right, we're going to get in. We have one more segment after this one, so let's save that to break down the 8th inning yesterday, break down Craig Stammen's lineups, break down, everything that he has and hasn't done right in the first 2 games. So let's hold on that.
Okay.
I want to talk about a couple of other quick things while we have a minute. Miles Byrd.
Yes. We
Jump
talked about
ship.
it a little bit.
He's going to go into the portal. First thing I'm going to say is, Miles Byrd was a pretty legit contributor to the San Diego State basketball program. He's graduating from San Diego State.
Yes, he is.
A la Lamont Butler, a la Keyshawn Johnson. Both of them then went elsewhere in college to work and make a ton of money. I don't begrudge them that. As Brian Dutcher said, Lamont Butler went to school at San Diego State for 4 years and then worked for a year at the University of Kentucky. Keyshawn Johnson did the same, but he went to the University of Arizona for a year, then on to the pros. This is the system that we have made out there. Not me and you, but that has been made. Miles Byrd has every right to go out there and see what he can make, next year.
He is coming off of being the defensive player of the year for the Mountain West.
The man is an absolute freak in terms of his athleticism and his body, the arms and the reach he has.
Yep.
And the springs he has for his size.
And availability.
So, Miles Bird's going to, hopefully be able to work his game and get to, where he eventually wants to go. I don't begrudge him that. I don't like the system. Remember, though, San Diego State, in the long run, I think, comes out on top. We're going to find a lot of players that still want to come play here as opposed to Oregon State or Washington State or Colorado State or all the rest of the conference teams that we play.
Yeah.
So, Brian Dutcher will replace Miles Byrd, and he'll replace whoever he's got to replace.
BJ Davis?
BJ Davis is in the portal, potentially told Mark Ziegler he hasn't decided what he's doing yet. So I think we can hold, whatever. They're going to lose people. They may lose everybody.
I'm waiting for the Guath man.
I
would hope that he stays, though. He had a tough season. I feel like if you have a tough season after you return, you have to stay for another season so you can redeem yourself.
I know what you think. I just know that that's not what happens.
No, it's not what happens because he can go make $3 million somewhere.
Maybe so. The other one, how about the San Diego Wave? did you talk about
We did.
the signing of Torrey Pines' own Caterino Macario?
Yes, we did.
Who is now the highest paid women's soccer player on the planet?
Yep.
Is that everywhere? Like in every league?
I believe so. Tony was like extremely impressed by this just because like the salaries in the NWSL are going up so fast. And now this is what we were talking about yesterday. Now players want to play for the NWSL. And so the women's European leagues and teams,
our players want to start coming here.
It's not like the men's side where you get paid everything in the European leagues if you're a dude. But if you're a woman, you want to come back to the NWSL because they're going to start paying more.
Well, let's hope that continues. Let's hope that the league can afford the paychecks that they're handing out.
Oh.
That is something that I worry about. I don't know. I mean, is the Wave selling out? Not that I know of. Are the TV rights enough to support these kind of contracts? You hope that the owners are in it for the long haul, because I think you're going to do this. You got to be legit and stay with it. And I did work in a women's professional soccer league where they kind of overspent and kind of got themselves in trouble. So I caution. But good luck to the Wave. And I think, that's something we all want to now go out and see this young lady play, and bringing her home to, to San Diego and giving her a legit, status.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool.
Nick Danucci was actually at the press conference yesterday doing some video work, and he said it was a $300,000 transfer fee and $8 million guaranteed. I think the NWSL is going to be fine. I feel like they're growing really, really fast. They're actually doing it, I think, better than the WNBA. WNBA has been around for 30 years. And it seems like the NWSL in the last 5 years has already passed them in terms of economics and how much money they're making and how much money they can pay their players. Yeah, it was kind of an issue with the money in the NWSL, but they've stepped up and they keep paying players more and more. WNBA had to go through a whole new CBA for that.
Don't disagree with you, Scrape.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
The NWSL is fantastic right now. I just hope it, continues to work for them.
Yes.
I wish them well and continued well. I wish. That's great grammar, by the way. Continued well, I wish.
Continue well, I wish.
On the San Diego Wave. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, in our next segment, we're going to give away the prize, the tickets, the Michael King signed baseball, bobblehead. That's all coming up. And we'll break down last night's game from the manager's office when Gwen and Chris resumes from the far corner. welcome back to Will and Chris. Already our last segment, Scrape.
I know, this has flown by.
Do you think we can call the Padres and have them put the game off for a couple hours so you and I can stay on longer?
I think we can handle that. Instead of a 5:40 start, let's make it a 6:40.
Give everybody a chance to get down here. Give us a chance to, really kind of spread our wings a little bit.
Yes.
What the hell.
And fly.
We'll wait till Monday. We will be back with a regular get-together on Monday, 2 o'clock. The regular Gwen and Chris. Tony will be with us, of course. And all the fun of a new week.
Yes.
Of Gwen and Chris. Hopefully we will be talking about a team that has won a ball game by then. Remember, the Padres will only play tonight.
I know.
They don't play tomorrow.
I know.
So when we come back on the show Monday, they'll either be 0-3 getting ready to play the Giants or much better sounding 1-2.
Yeah, it's
And that
definitely
all-
much better.
Much better sounding 1-2. All right, let's look at the game last night.
Poor Craig Stammen.
Yeah.
Hasn't even gotten his win yet. So
Not yet. The first game, I don't even think there's a whole lot that needs to be said about, you want to go manager, you want to do this, that, the other. You give up 4 in the first against Tarek Skubal. You could have Vince Lombardi coach. It's not, you're done. You're losing that game.
yeah,
So I kind of just wiped that one away.
I agree.
Would I have liked to see them get back in the game a little bit more? Yeah, and they had a chance in the bottom of the first of that first game, but, Merrill struck out and, Skubal got out of it.
Yeah.
So that's what he does. Second game, this is where the manager's obviously going to be called into question. You got a 2-1 lead. You're going to the 8th inning. First and foremost, Jason Adam is a no-brainer to bring in the game, but he's not on the roster right now. He's hurt or he's on the injured list. So if you can't blame Craig Stammen for not being able to bring in somebody that he couldn't bring in.
Correct.
Secondly, you say, well, Mason Miller should have been ready just in case to get us through the 8th inning and then the 9th. I don't want to hear any crap about him. He's only can pitch 3 batters or this, that, and the other. I get that argument if we're in June or July or August. We're not. We're the second game of the season. It's just too early, especially when Mason Miller's coming off of being in the World Baseball Classic and everybody's ramping up for the season. It's like asking a starter right now to get you through the 7th inning. If they do, great. Not what you really probably want to do right now.
Yeah.
No starters are going 6. I think Alcantara pitched 7 yesterday for the Marlins, but
They're the
that's-
Marlins.
yeah, it's pretty much it. Nobody's going that.
No,
No closer.
not this early in the year.
You don't want closer going 4 outs, going in, coming back out, not second game of the season. So if you want to blame Stammen and say, well, he should have had Mason Miller get the last out of the 8th inning or whatever, just understand it wasn't really an option. Number one. Number two, there's no manager. I don't think that would have brought him in the second game of the season. It's just not the way you do things. I know you want to win, and I know you want to win every game.
We're not
But
the Angels fans, Chris. We want to win.
I know, but under those circumstances, Mason Miller got to pitch every game.
Yeah.
All right, and that's pretty unrealistic.
It's totally unrealistic. And
All right.
and in the end, I understand why. But in the moment, I was like, ugh, they're going to lose this game.
Well, that's not because of Craig Stammen.
It's because of Wandy Peralta.
No, it isn't. It's because of Jeremiah Estrada.
Oh, yeah.
You want a shot to be big time guy that we can go to in the late game. Mason Miller's not going to be able to close every game all year. Jason Adams is going to be down. If Estrada wants to be the guy and he wants to, make some bucks and he wants to be a closer or at least close games, you can't go out there and after you strike out the first hitter, walk 3 straight guys. You just can't do it. That's ball game. You can't give them 3 base runners like that. But he did. So I got to put most of the blame on his shoulders. I don't know how Craig Stammen is responsible for that. But the next discussion is, should have Stammen taken him out right then? He's obviously struggling. Stammen's gut told him to leave him in. And I'll tell you what, his gut wasn't wrong. He got a very feeble ground ball that went for an infield hit.
You're right.
Because of the positioning of the defenders.
Yep.
And then he got a strikeout. So now we're 2-2. We got 2 outs. We still got bases loaded. Now, should he have stayed with Estrada? Most people out there thought we should have taken him out already. But we bring in Wandy, the veteran, lefty. most managers go lefty-lefty.
I understand.
That's what they do.
I understand the situation called for what he did.
So he did it.
But we all know Wandy Peralta is not the clutchest guy in the world.
Okay, then who was the other option? Kyle Hart?
No, you don't want to bring him in at the end of the game.
Well, that's your only other lefty.
I mean, you use
friend.
David Morgan. I know you're another lefty. Yeah, you're right. I mean, his hands were tied. You got me. All right, you have this little smile on your face.
I'm not trying to get you.
You got me.
I'm not trying to get you. I'm just trying to take a look at the situation. I wish that, Jeremiah Estrada would have got the guys out he's supposed to get out, or at least throw strikes. Make him get 3 hits. Don't give him 3 walks. Don't do what Nick Pivetta did in the first game in the first inning.
See, I don't know how much Ruben Niebla is involved, but I need him to take control of the situation. And I need him to, because he's the guy on the top step. You see this during the game so far? He's the guy, like Craig Stammen's right there, obviously, and they're talking and discussing. But Ruben Niebla is an assistant manager. He is able to make the call, hey, I need to go out there, talk to him, or we need to go somewhere else. And I would think that Craig Stammen would go with his decision.
All right, so what would your decision been different than what was made?
Now that you've made your case, I don't know that there was another decision or there was another option. And especially right now with Jason Adam out, I get it. I just hate losing games.
Everybody does. Everybody hates when we've said this. How many times?
Avoidable losses too.
How many times have I said this, and how many different ways have I said it? A good manager. Okay. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody else. Nobody saw that. Luckily,
my
chair just gave way. I just started sinking. That's so funny.
It was on video.
That was. I hope that could go viral. That was so funny.
That was funny.
I was just about to make my statement, and I just disappeared behind the table here. I've said it a million times. I'll try to say it again without my chair sinking. A good bullpen makes smart managers. A bad bullpen makes dumb managers. Last night, the Padres were a bad bullpen.
Yeah.
That made for a dumb manager.
Yeah.
So that's it. Got to turn the page. They will. And, look, not going to hurt my feelings. And Manny, puts one up against the wall. Fernando, starts cranking a couple. You're hitting 194. You got a 299 slugging percentage, and you got a 549 OPS. It's 2 games, but
those are bad.
Those are bad.
Those are bad.
Those are bad. So
we also have to mention that Manny Machado had an error last night. That was a costly error. We've seen more errors from Manny in the last couple of years. I'm not saying that's a trend or it's a problem or anything like that, but it was a costly error. Kept the inning going. Also, there's a lot of people who don't like Jackson Merrill cleaning up. I'm split in the middle with him cleaning up. I think that he's better served maybe in the 5th or 6th spot. I'm not sure why they have him batting 4th. He's not the power threat.
Well, he's batting 4th today, and I don't mind it today because he got a right-handed pitcher.
Yeah.
I don't like him batting cleanup against a lefty.
Yeah, he did it both days.
I don't like that.
Where would you bat him? Because I would put him in the 5th or 6th spot. I think he's better in the middle of the lineup for right now.
Well, 4th is the middle. I hate to tell you.
I would consider 5th the middle. I would consider 5th or 6th the middle.
All right, why don't you give everybody the lineup again tonight? Because Fernando is not in the leadoff role tonight. Jake Cronenworth is. But Fernando's not far away.
He's not far away. So Jake Cronenworth is leading off playing. Oh, thank you, Nick. Playing second base. Fernando Tatis Jr. playing right field, batting second. Manny Machado batting third, playing third. Jackson Merrill cleaning up in center field. Sander Bogarts batting 5th at shortstop. Gavin Sheets playing first base, batting 6th. Laureano in left field, batting 7th. DHing is Castellanos, batting 8th. And 9th is the catcher Fermin with Randy Vasquez on the mound. There's a picture on the Padres tweet of Jackson Merrill on the lineup tweet. That was taken immediately after he robbed the home run. Wow. I have watched that so many times, and he is pumped. I love a good pumped up Jackson Merrill. His throw back into the infield had some great zip on it. I loved it.
Had they won the game last night, that catch would have been the first really big moment of the year.
True.
Instead, it's just kind of an afterthought. They didn't win.
and he robbed McGonagall, the Bambino.
And the Bambino got the last laugh because he won the game.
He really is like the Bambino right now. It's so annoying. It's so annoying to me. But the thing is they've been calling this. Let me do that. How about that? Okay, you okay? It is interesting that there's more rookies impacting so far the first couple of days of the year.
I think it's
than
crazy.
Usual. I mean, it doesn't happen like this. You don't get a lot of rookies that make huge impacts.
It's happening more and more now because guys are coming to the major leagues and they're more ready than they've ever been before. But I think it's been just kind of ironic in a sense when you got, Benj had a good game in his first game. Weatherholt has had a home run in his first game and a walk-off hit today. DeLauder in Cleveland, or for Cleveland, he's had 3 homers in 2 games. And now you got McGonagall. That's 4 guys that are all made their major league debuts and in 2 days have already done a lot.
Absolutely.
That's kind of weird.
Fun. It's fun. Though.
I wish, and that's why I said maybe the Padres, the one mistake we made was not making Jace Bowen on the opening day roster so that we had a guy that could maybe do that.
We have 8 minutes left for you to sign up for our prizes, so make sure you come up to the bar here at Far Corner on 10th and J and sign up. We will be drawing everything at 3:55. So, again, we have a pair of tickets to Monday's game. We have a signed Michael King baseball. We have a bobblehead of Michael King, also a fanny pack. We're going to say fanny pack, Chris. We're going to say fanny pack. What did they call it before?
People aren't going to sign up for it if you keep calling it a fanny pack.
Were you ever a fanny pack guy? I could see you rocking a fanny pack.
I didn't want to, but when we would go on vacation, my wife needed me to carry 35 things when we were walking around. So I did use the fanny pack, but I hated it.
It's kind of weird.
Honey, can you carry this? Oh, can you carry my lip? Can you carry my this?
And then she needs it.
Yeah, right. And then I'm digging in there.
It's always on the bottom in the corner.
For lip gloss or something. Yeah. I did have the fanny pack. A couple of updates on the Padres injury front. We talked about Jason Adam. Jason Adam is, here's the other. He wasn't even here last night.
No, he was in Sacramento.
He's in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Right. So he's gone there, and he's going to pitch for AAA El Paso today.
Yes.
The plans after that are unclear, but they want to get him back when he's ready. Everybody wants to rush him. I wish we had him last night. If we had him in the 8th inning and we had Miller in the 9th, we'd probably be 1-1 right now. But we didn't have it. So the other guys need to come through. They had their opportunity. Griffin Canning going to make a rehab start for the Chihuahuas also in Tacoma next week. I think he's a month or so before we even start looking over the shoulder for him.
Yep.
Yuki Matsui, he's not here. I like
he's working his way back.
I like when Yuki's in town.
You do?
But he's on his way to Peoria for a simulated game. So one of those. And then
that's got to be so boring. Here, fly to Peoria to pitch a fake game.
Matt Waldron is over there doing that as well. He's trying to get ready. And then you got Sungmun Song. So they got a pretty good group of guys on the injured list. It'll be interesting, when those guys are ready, how you're going to manipulate things. But let me take a guess how they'll manipulate things. Bryce Johnson has a tweaked elbow.
He's going on the IL.
Ty France's back was acting up the other day.
It's spasmed. That's what they do. He's on the IL with back spasms.
They do that all the time now. So, we'll just have to wait and see. Look, I didn't want to come in today and almost do this today because I'm like, we're 0-2, and I know everybody's all down and out. So I really don't want to come in on Monday and go 0-3.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you
because I can already tell you, like on Monday, if they're 0-3 at 2:01, I'll come on the air and I'll go, "Welcome to Gwynn and Chris." By 2:02, Tony Gwynn will say, "It's only been 3 games, gentlemen. It doesn't really matter."
He will say that, but it does matter to me. So I know that he says it doesn't matter, and I can understand as a baseball player, you have to have that mindset. Because they could go on a streak of winning 10 games in a row just as easy as they could lose 3 in a row.
But it matters to these fans. It matters to these people who follow this team. You don't want to be 0-3. Just don't.
Absolutely. And then have to sit on it all Sunday? Come on. Man, there's been some great games today. You had the Cardinals win in extras. You have the Blue Jays winning in extras. The Phillies were down 3-0 in the bottom of the 9th. They came back to tie it. They're now 3-3.
Whoa, the excitement of it all.
That is excitement. Come on now.
March Madness, baseball style.
Hey, that would be the World Baseball Classic. They just had it earlier.
Oh, they had all their March Madness already?
I have an idea to roll past you. So I'm trying to get together an MLB The Show Scrabinator Classic where we play against each other. And I am requesting that you do the play-by-play for the championship game.
Wait, what?
So I'm putting together a Scrabinator Classic where we're going to get other people. We're all going to play against each other. I'm requesting you do the play-by-play on YouTube for the championship game. Not sure when that is yet.
So I'll be watching the game on my monitor?
You'll be with me.
Okay.
You'll be watching the game, and I'll turn off the sound or the announcers, and you are the announcer. How about that? It'll only take like an hour.
Here's the pitch to Addison Barger. There it goes!
Did you just break the microphone thing back in studio? Ooh, I'm getting handed I've always wanted to be handed a note on the air.
All right, we're going to give away our prize. Let's do it before it's too late, Scrape.
Why did I get handed this note? It just
Is that the
this
winner?
is the name. Duh.
That's the winner.
We gotta wait.
Is that the winner?
Wait. We said 3:55. I can't go before 3:55.
Yeah, but we got to get off the air. What time do we have to be off the air, Nick?
We're almost there.
Yeah, our bet starts in 1 minute, Scraby. This is it.
No, but what I'm telling you is we told people 3:55. We have to do it at 3:55 because if someone said, I want to be there at 3:55.
We're going to be off the air by then. We won't even be on.
It doesn't matter. We're not giving it to the people out there. We're giving it to the people here. Believe me, I would get a DM saying, well, I was there at 3:55 and you didn't say anything.
Dr.
That's
Scraby.
exactly what would happen.
All right, just hold on to it.
That's exactly what would happen. Oh. What did you say, Nick? Oh, thank you. But I thank Vanessa because I've never been handed a note on the air before, and it was really fun. So come over here.
You feel empowered?
I do. Here. What were you going to say?
That's what we were doing earlier. We were like picking it out and having it ready for 3:55.
Got it.
I didn't hear any of that.
She said they're getting it ready for 3:55.
So I made a big deal out of nothing.
No. So those of you listening to the show on the radio, you just are going to have to wonder who might have won these prizes.
We went 1 hour.
We're going to actually give it away after we say goodbye.
We went 1 hour and 52 minutes without fighting, and now we're fighting.
Time to fight, Scraby.
All right.
All right, thanks for joining us. Thanks to everybody at the far corner, Max and Hamby and his staff. For Scraby, it's Chris. We'll see you Monday at 2. Let's get a win tonight.
Woohoo!